Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. Happy news for many 49ers fans. Kyle Juszczyk agreed to a 2-year, $8 million agreement with the 49ers to return in 2025. Interesting thing is he was scheduled to make about $4 million in 25, and they felt that was too expensive for him, so they released him. So I'm not sure how the details of this contract are going to work out. It could be, $3 million for 2025, and then the five remaining $1 million set for 2026. So that's kind of what they did last year. So in 24, they made him take a pay cut. He was scheduled for 2 years, I think around $6 million, still the highest paid fullback in the league, but they backloaded it. So the first year, 2024, he made about $1.2 million. He was scheduled to make $4 million in 25, which is why they released him. So I'm guessing 2 years at $8 million, it's maybe $2 or $3 million in 2025, and then the larger part of the contract in 2026. So again, they'll have the option to release him again at the end of 2025. Just a crazy kind of roller coaster ride of emotions, not only for the youth checks, but for, I'm sure, the 49ers faithful. So just kind of a really surprising announcement earlier in the morning. Adam Schefter first reported it about 5:30 in the morning Pacific time, so 8:30 on the East Coast. Both Kyle and Kristen Juszczyk on their social media were like, what a ride this has been. They're super excited to be back. George Kittle obviously retweeted and posted. He's super excited to have his best friend back. Both of those two guys, George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk, started in 2017. Kyle Juszczyk as a free agent, and of course George Kittle as a rookie, and they've been really close, kind of best friends as they've gone along on this 8-year path so far. They're both set to start year 9 together in 2025, and both of them now are very close to being, or they actually are close to being candidates for that 10-year wall. So one of the things that the 49ers honor is players that have been on the team for 10 years. There is a huge 10-year wall. And the first 10-year player was Keena Turner. He started this 10-year wall, and there were several players on it. Joe Staley is one, guys who have spent their entire career with the 49ers. And now Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, both in their 9th year, the longest tenured 49ers players in the Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch era. So they're back together. He's going to be back on the field. The signing is also interesting because they paid a lot of money for Luke. Luke, now I can't remember his last name. Good job, Jen. The tight end that they signed, 3 years, $20.25 million. So not only, I mean, that kind of signaled that they were going to move on from Kyle Juszczyk, and now they're going to have both a higher paid tight end, backup for George Kittle, also a guy who blocks really well, known for a block as a blocking tight end, not a pass catching tight end, but uh, that and Kyle Juszczyk, because the thought was over, you know, through a lot of the 49er land was that signing a tight end to that much money would mean the release of Kyle Juszczyk. Maybe he would line up in the backfield, but he's not a guy that has. So this will be interesting how Kyle Shanahan kind of uses his scheme to get all of these guys on the field at the same time. Maybe it's going to be George Kittle more as a receiving tight end, and then you've got another tight end who's a blocker. And then again, it could be that you've got Kyle Juszczyk as a blocker, another tight end as a blocker, and George Kittle becomes the pass catching tight end that he has been in the past. So all right. It is Luke Gifford. That's his name. No, that's the linebacker. I'm doing a really good job on this one. Luke Farrell. Here we go. Luke Farrell is the tight end that they signed. 3 years, $20.25 million. Luke Gifford is the inside linebacker that they signed. So there's Luke's and Kyle's all over this roster. So Luke Farrell could be the blocking tight end that George Kittle has been. George Kittle could become more of a receiver because they don't know what they're going to have in Brandon Ayuk, who's coming back from an ACL injury. So all of that to be said, Kyle Juszczyk is back on the team. Luke Farrell is another tight end. George Kittle is back, of course. And this offense could have a little bit different look, how they scheme it up in 2025. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks. OTAs, training camp, obviously we'll have all the reports here. So stay tuned. If I have any more news for you, I'll bring it back right up here on my YouTube channel. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a comment for what you think about this Juszczyk re-signing. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.